Hey guys, how's it going? Samuel here, or Say It for short, back in another video. This time playing some Minsitthar match, Gilded King Minsitthar. Decided to record this match because it was a good match, showing off what Minsitthar really is, in my opinion, right? Because Minsitthar is one of the more confusing characters, I would say, for a lot of people to play. People aren't sure if he's like a sustained fighter that builds bloodless axe, if he's like a tanky support fighter or anything like that. They're just not really sure what he is. And in my opinion, he's a burst fighter. He's a burst fighter that's tanky. And is sort of like a support. You build mask on him, but you still get a lot of gold. So this match, I think I really showed that off in a good light. Granted, these aren't the strongest opponents in the world. I feel like this is a good match, right? So that's what we're gonna do. I do get mask on Minsitthar here. Decided to clear the wave solo, which is nice. Our team comp is a little bit whack since it is classic, so we don't have a mage or anything like that. But regardless, I think this was a good match. Just showing you guys the momentum that Minsitthar can build himself, despite the fact that he has mask. Like most fighters hate to go mask because it's like they don't get any gold. It's like I can't do anything, and it's like Minsitthar is not the same. And when people build mask on Minsitthar, they're like, oh, Minsitthar is just pure support. No, he's more than that. He is still a fighter and is still very capable. Get our first kill there. Very lovely. Oh, Minsithar's sustain is also really good as well. So, like, not in the sense you need to build Bloodless Axe, because all his skills have very, very long cooldown. It's not, like, very spammable. Like, the shield's like 5 seconds, right? It's not the worst thing in the world. Once at, like, max level and all that. But even then, that's a fairly long time. So I consider it to be a fairly long time, not enough to be using Bloodless Axe by any means, right? So I also don't build boots on Minsitthar. I don't find he needs it. I'm actually using the tank emblem on Minsitthar right now because it's a good emblem. It helps him out quite a bit. Helps him out with sustaining, fighting, team fighting, because he's like the diver kind of in a sense, right? He's not really diving always, but like he sometimes dives with his ults. He dives in with his ults. I just find the tank emblem really helpful for surviving. And I don't find myself needing to recall because Minsitthar, it has pretty good lane clearing power and all of that. So it's like I don't really need him to do all that. I also run Petrify Minsitthar, contrary to like people who run Execute and Assassin Emblem. I don't find Assassin Emblem useful at all on Minsitthar. He doesn't really need it. He does enough damage as is. He doesn't really need like the penetration or anything. Like I said, he's bursty, but he's not that bursty. Like early game, he's not that bursty. Later on in the match, Minsitthar is pretty decent. He does pretty good consistent amount of burst damage, but yeah. As you can see here, my gold is, I think it is sorted by gold, right? Sorted by gold earned. So as you can see, I have like this pretty much the second most gold right now, despite the fact that I have no mask. Granted, I am clearing a couple lanes solo, because of our whole weird rotation composition thingy, but, yeah. And I also play Minsitthar without boots because he doesn't need it, and as for the mana issues that he does face, you just build 2 necklaces. Mana necklaces until you get Endless Battle, and by the time you have Endless Battle, mana is no longer an issue, right? So, yeah. Alright. Just slow and steady here, taking it easy. Just roaming around a lot. That's the whole Premier. Oh, that was a nice flicker by Zilong there. The whole concept of Minsitthar is the fact that he's like a Sultan king, so with his passive and how it works, it really allows him to use the roaming mask to its maximum potential and not have to rely on farming or solo laning, right? That was a nice flicker by Granger there. I would have gotten him otherwise, but we managed to get him regardless still. Petrify, Courage Mask, and all that. Cho does get lit up quite a bit here, but we managed to get him. So you can see my gold's still doing pretty good. Oops, I totally ruined my perspective thing. Alright, at this point here, we did get engaged by Zilong and Harley, and Harley actually got his ult off as well as a full skill one of his cards. But with Minsitthar, it's one of his perks is definitely his skill 2. The skill 2 shield that he gets, it just negates Harley's ultimate pretty much, and I did not take much damage here. Here I was actually going to do a prediction move, but I waited a little bit too long because I wanted Harley to get closer within my alt range, right, so he could not escape. But he actually got pretty far, so he uses had it and didn't recall, so it's like I messed up. Because of that, I also choked a little bit on the movements there. I should have been with my team a little bit more, but I did mess up a little bit. So and that resulted in Sharky dying, as well as just not being there to assist the rest of the team for killing Harley. They got it, but you know. And at this point, my gold is, you know, still second place, which is really good. Having the marksman be in first place, which is good because the marksman is the carry. But Minsitthar is not a support; he's a fighter. Excuse me, my throat is pretty dry. Apparently, it also helps that I was roaming with both Franco and Cho, who both had lower gold than me, but also had mask, so I was able to get gold from laning with them as well. That being said, their gold is also not very far behind. As you can see here, Franco and Cho both aren't far behind in golds, even though they have mask. With Franco, he's roaming around and getting kills, just like I am pretty much, right? Kills and assists, basically. As for Cho, he's jungling, so again, it's not bad. The mask helps because once we all get assists, and we can all benefit off those assists. I benefit a little bit more than others because I already get 15 built-in gold from from my passive, right? Minsithar's passive. Whenever an ally gets a kill, even if I don't get an assist on them, I get 15 gold. But with the Courage Mask, that's even more gold if I get assists. Obviously, I still, you know, do a little bit of solo laning here and there when I can, because it's like, you know what, still need to keep up that gold a little bit, right? But for the most part, I am roaming with the team. I haven't recalled yet. Don't really need to because, you know, my sustain is fine. It's not, I don't lifesteal a lot just yet because, like, I only have Endless Battle now. Now I'm building Oracle for the maximum shield on skill 2, because that shield on skill 2 is pretty nasty, right? But even without actually like having enough lifesteal off of Endless Battle to actually see the figurative numbers, you do see the numbers after you start building Bladed Despair. So even though you don't see it now, it's not too big of a deal. Here I see Franco going up here. I thought he was going to use ult, but he was just poking. But now he is going to use ult, and Zilong is pretty much just dead. Now it's just me and Franco pretty much. We pretty much took out a full health Zilong. Just goes to show that we do have damage, right? Obviously, Cho flickered in for a punch and all that, but we were going to get Zilong regardless. I thought Franco hooked something there, but it was just a minion. As you can see by now, my gold is actually significantly higher than the whole team. Leslie actually has like pretty much the least gold, despite being a carry, which is funny, right? Managed to get Guzhin, he's dead. And this is just me and Franco. Like, it's a lot of crowd control, obviously, but the damage I do is not bad either. I would not have been able to kill Guzhin there, but I would have been able to cripple him quite a bit. And as you can see, look at my gold now. It's completely massive, looking compared to the rest of the team. That was a cancer hook, by the way, by Franco. He was going for X-Borg, but we killed X-Borg, so he hooked Harley instead, which worked. Hook gang squads. As you can see, I am getting gold from the minions, even though I have mass, because both Franco and Cho have lower gold than me. That being said, it's not that big of an issue, right? Like, even if I didn't, it would still be fine. And I just don't need to recall at all because I have enough sustain. Now I'm starting to build Bladed Despair after building Oracle. And as you can see, the whole team is doing good on gold. Franco and Cho are both doing fine. Franco doesn't need that much gold to lead because he's a tank, pretty much. Well, he's not really a tank, but, you know. And as you can see there, I was actually like regenerating a little bit from attacking minions now, because now I actually have enough damage for Endless Battle to kick in properly. Guzhin decides to go in here for some reason, and yeah, he's dead. Can't run, gets crowd control by Franco as well. Just death. Courage Mask dive right there. Rip Export. It's good stuff. Hook Z-Long, and then Franco follows up hook, and that's just that. As you can see, I'm doing like 600 damage per hit with after skill 2, 300 damage true damage, pretty much 260 true damage, and then like 400 with the hit, and then that's not even considering the scaling on the skill 2. So I have plenty of damage. Damage is not a problem. I actually do die here because I get a little bit too caught up in trying to mess around and like kill them all in their base, and that ends up being my death. A little bit of a setback here because of that, but it's no issue. We're way too ahead at this point for it to be an issue, right? Leslie does actually die here. Gets a little bit greedy. Should have recalled, but she dies. It is what it is. Franco dies here too. A little bit too slow on the flicker. Should have flickered after he was coming in. Sharky goes in here for the kill. Does get it, I believe. And yeah, that's that. As you can see, now I actually lost my gold lead as number 1 because Hanzo hasn't died yet, really. Well, he's died a couple times, but he's an assassin. He farms a lot. He's quick. He gets kills. He has Bounty Hunter, 8 kills. But Minsitthar, as you can see, tank emblem, no boots, courage mask. I am perfectly fine. I'm plenty agile. I am plenty tanky. I have a lot of gold, right? It's not an issue. Now that I think I finished up Endless Bladed Despair pretty quickly here. As you can see, Harley gets off like quite a bit of damage there, but with Oracle as well as the skill 2 shield, I took like literally no damage from that ultimate. Managed to get a Granger there, so that's death for him. Export uses ult to escape, so there's that. I was a little bit slow there. I could have caught that Z-Long, but I did manage to catch this Harley. And as you can see there with the ultimate skill 2 Petrify combo, it's quite a bit of damage, right? That was like a nice double hook by me and Franco there. Use Courage Mask to get out of the tower so I don't take tower damage, and that would be the game. So, the Sultan King Minsitthar has no issues with gold, even though he doesn't, and he does plenty of damage. As you can see here, I did, a considerable amount of damage. It's not like I was like carry or anything, but as a fighter, you should do a decent amount of damage, and that's exactly what Minsitthar did. Did decent amount of damage, tanked quite a bit, pushed some towers, all that stuff. That's who Minsitthar is. He's a proper fighter. He can tank a little bit, he can do some damage, and ultimately he can engage with his skill 1 and his ultimate, and he can also peel.